Hello, boys. Ooh. My name is Koyoshi, and welcome back to what is probably gonna be the most painful setup. I honestly don't know what to do with this, but this is basically a guide on how to speed upgrade all of your Soulhacker abilities. These are abilities that you basically get as you play through the game, and you can upgrade these by doing a series of effects. Today, I'm going to show you, I think, obviously showing a guide would be a little bit simple. So I'm just going to do like a 1 hour overview. I want to show you how fast we can actually do this. Since most of this is actually just really boring and unique setups. In fact, to balance it out, I'm not going to be having a secondary video, but the next time I do videos, I think we're going to just go straight into challenge mode, because I honestly don't know if this is going to really do much. Honestly, it's really just an alternate video, but if you really want to do soul hacking, then you can do that. So, I'm going to show the best strategies to get the upgrades. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is do the amount of kills and blocking. Now, there are multiple ways to do this, but the area I found that has by far the most enemy spawns, especially early on, that is in the start of the game, is this area right here. And by the way, I did set Noah with an AoE attack. This is on purpose because we're going to actually be using him. But anyways, go to Milk Metals and go to Lucia's Eye, and you'll see that there are quite a few enemies you can kill around here. So basically, for killing enemies, this is probably the easiest part. You basically just go around and one-shot enemies with whatever your fast art is. And so, it's basically like the insta-kill strategy, but you do it while you are using other effects. On top of that, if you want to kill with a specific art, you can instead just use that art instead, but I'm using Horn Dance just because it's technically a little bit faster. And if you time it right also, you can kill more enemies, which is really tricky. So yeah, it's pretty much go to the starting area of any zone that has really weak enemies, like Liana in this instance. So you basically just go around and just one-shot all the enemies. Alternatively, you want to make it a little bit faster. You can instead lure a bunch of enemies. This is actually probably an alternative you can do that's probably going to work a little bit better. Just lure a bunch of enemies instead, and then use Horn Dance for some AoE that can kill all of them at once, and bam, you just immediately remove them all. And yeah, it's honestly not really that hard. Although there are many other ways you can probably do this fast, this starting area here has the weakest enemies, so it's pretty easy to clear out really quickly. Even if you only kill like one at a time, it's still much faster than doing anything else. And sometimes you can hit them off of the swing too, so if you're close enough, you can sometimes hit other enemies that are not in battle yet. Always though, I think when you first draw a weapon, sometimes it will not immediately kill them. One thing you can also do is just tap the enemy and run away. Your allies will probably do this. Probably still kill it just as fast as you. You can also just kill a weaker monster multiple times, but they actually have a lot more health, and you can use enemies together, which is a little bit better. Speaking of which, I know Toxic has a longer animation, but can it actually kill multiple enemies? Yeah, okay. Maybe I should be doing that. So, yeah, it is an AoE, but the AoE range itself is not that good. I'm gonna actually have to... Whoa! That was laggy. I don't know if that was even the game or just doing something else, but yeah, that's really weird. Anyways, though, one of the effect setups does require us to defeat a specific amount of monsters with a skill set flip. The best way of doing that is to basically go to the starting area, which one of the best spots for this is Ayana, of course. And then you basically just do an AoE path of destruction. This is basically how you would grind in the early game, by the way. You can also trigger these battles here and very quickly just AoE them down as well. If you are gonna pick between one monster, pick the one that has more monsters in general. That'll be slightly better. So yeah, that's a thing that you can do. That's a little bit better. For any tougher monster, I do have a actually specifically set Noah with Wild Wave elimination beam because it works really well. And also, one thing you might want to do, and I might actually do this next upcoming sub, throw a Gust Bracelet on the main character you want to use with this. Otherwise, it'll become awkward to use. So I'm gonna actually switch that for now, since I don't have good accessories. I think what I want to do is actually have, I'm not going to really be using Beautiful Crystal yet. I will be putting Beautiful Crystal back on most of my characters, by the way, because in challenge mode, Beautiful Crystal gets its boost really quick. Like, in certain battles, it is extremely useful. It's quite the most useful item in challenge mode. Definitely remember that one. What's the... Oh yeah, this is a Ghost Bracelet. I almost forgot about this game. I know I've only had it for like a little bit, but I feel like why not have it? That way I can, if we meet a stronger monster, we can just use Wild Wave and Elimination beam right away, instead of doing anything else. Other than that, you basically just go around just immediately executing everything that appears. So you basically just go around to an area that has a lot of enemies, which the starting area is obviously the best choice for this. And you just insta-kill a lot of the enemies. You do this until you run out, and then you can do other stuff. You could probably skip some walking time by not doing certain stuff. Although there are probably many different items you can use for the setup, Wildlife, most, the setup I have for Dance and Step will do with most enemies, and Wild Wave and Elimination Beam will help bust any elites that you come across. That's actually a specific reason why I have Elimination Beam in particular. And while this is happening, the other characters can also partially use their arts, and in doing so will sometimes kill enemies that way. By the way, the flyer type enemies, as you might have seen, are actually really good for this set. So if you see any of those in particular, definitely kill them. They're like the weakest enemy in a game, and they don't really have that much health, so it's pretty easy to kill them. So you basically just do this, killing all the other stuff. If for some reason they're out of range, then you can just switch to a different enemy and lure it over to the area you need. And then later use more advance to kill them both anyway. That one's really high up. Again, if you see that a monster is too high up, you can just lure it down and just kill it normally anyway. You can do this in all the areas in the game, but the starting area is particularly useful for this. And you want to take out everything here. Yes, even these soldiers are going to take out. These are a little bit trickier though, because they're at a higher level. For some of these tougher battles, wildlife elimination will typically carry you for most of the battles. Wildlife elimination in particular is actually really destructive. By the way, feel free to take on these longer battles as well, because another thing you need to do is do a bunch of damage dealing with the arts. Unfortunately, there's not really a good way to do that efficiently, so most of that is actually going to be done while we're trying to cover these monsters, hence why we want to have these monsters. Unfortunately, I don't really know what the best setup is, so I decided for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to basically set up all the arts I need on everyone in order, do a couple of battles, hopefully upgrade them all. When all of the arts I'm using are upgraded, I'm going to other than that, though, most of these arts just evolve using a certain amount of times or just being a specific monster. Otherwise, though, not much to say. You want to try to also use your arts whenever you can, so if you're trying to do a certain amount of damage with the art, you can just switch to that character and kill enemies. And do that while you're doing the other stuff. But other than that, it'll be really tedious to do a lot of this stuff, so I'm not going to mention how to do a lot of damage with the arts fast, because ultimately you'll just get that done while doing other things. But if you are looking to get some extra stuff, most of these arts are actually kind of useless. There's only a few that you probably will want to actually upgrade, but I am showing this just for the purposes of showing you what to do after I upgrade. If anything, probably getting the unique monster hunt was a bit more fun, because at least once you finish that, you get a lot of nice upgrades you can get from that. By the way, you don't have to do the unique monster strat setup once it's just killing unique monsters. This flammy area is definitely probably one of the better zones for killing stuff, so in terms of probably optimal completion, it's probably fastest to just kill the enemies in hand. Ooh, we actually got a slender flammy belt from doing that. So yeah, you can see how fun this is. Well, not really. Basically, just go around the area, killing all of the enemies you want. Then when you start to run out of enemies, you basically just reset on like a tougher one, or keep one alive on purpose, and then reset the battle arena, and then when you go back, you can just get all the monsters again. It's actually really useful for certain Other than that, though, like I said, it's just going around the area and hunting all the monsters. But obviously, you probably don't want to do that all the time. So now I'm going to show you how to do a secondary. And yeah, I kind of lied. This grind is actually kind of terrifying at first glance. But now you see why we made everyone a Soulhacker. Making everyone a Soulhacker for this part in particular speeds up the process like 6 times. Because, like, if you need to do a certain amount of damage with an art, you can just assign that art to every single person. That way you'll have 6 amount of times that that art is being used. Set that up and the art will get used significantly faster. Or alternatively, you can just split the arts into single characters, and that way bubbling up multiple things at the same time. Either one will work easily. Other than that, though, this is probably the simplest of the ones. It honestly doesn't take that long to grind kills in this game. You just go around killing enemies. I think this area just has so many monsters that if you go around killing them all, you'll probably get them all down really quickly. Here we can actually kill 3 enemies at once. If you have an area effect attack boost, there is a skill that boosts your area effect attack that only Soulhacker can learn. It's actually particularly useful for this grind setup if you want to speed it up, so keep that in mind if you want to make this a bit faster. Other than that, when you start to run out of enemies or get really close to the upgrade skill mat, you can do that. So now it's thundering. Yes, I do have Fiona. She's really the backup support to make sure that we can kill some of the later enemies. It'll make it much easier. Because with this setup, we don't quite have the proper setup for a battle right now. So we're starting to run out of weak enemies to kill. So when you start to run out of weak enemies to kill, just simply target the one you don't want to kill and then do the give up strategy and everything respawns, and you can just, if you want to make it easier, you can just teleport to a previous landmark and do it all over again. But I am not going to show that. So now we get to see the fun part of doing the dodge setup. For this part, thankfully, it's actually not that bad. So, the way you do this is you want to manually control the character you want to do block rates with, effectively. Speaking of which, I'm going to show this in the Soulhacker list to make sure I'm not missing out stuff. So here you can kind of see how many monsters we've killed already. So yeah, it goes pretty fast. It says, learn the specific amount of arts. So now I'm going to show how to, this is going to be block a specific number of attacks with the skill set, or dodge. You can get this done in either way. I'm going to do all these on Mio just to make it a bit easier, and also because Mio is cute and she does not deserve to get hit by anything at all. Definitely a thing that we need to know about. So, otherwise, yeah. We do have Wild Tendencies already up on her. I think I'll actually set up another block one. Unless, okay, Systematic Defense. That's the one I'm gonna put on. Otherwise, though, you basically just boost one character's block rate to a certain amount, which I did on Meal, although it could probably be done on anyone. Actually, let's check. Is Royal Charisma upgraded? If so, I don't know that. I know that's the one that required KOing monsters. By the way, it's kind of awkward to check. I wish there was like a quick menu you could do to bring this up sooner. Oh wait, no, this is one of the ones. So I can't remove that necessarily. Unless I put it on a different person instead. Actually, we can just replace one of our skills that already got upgraded with that instead. So, let's see. Sorry, I'm gonna be talking a lot about this, as it's really awkwardly hard to see. Okay, Non-Stop Barrage's upgrades. I'm gonna find Non-Stop Barrage and replace that with Royal Charisma. And Meal's gonna get that block one instead. So. Oh wait, no, she's the one that has it. Ooh, that's interesting. Ah, whatever. I'm gonna put another block one on her. I'm gonna actually give this debuff duration thing to Lance. So instead of launch that, here's the real problematic part. It's really hard to figure out what to replace with, since there's not really a good way to know. Yeah, it's replace Non-Stop Barrage with not Natural Guard with Monarch's Heart. And there's actually another one. Monarch's Heart, Natural Guard. Alright, Monarch's Heart. What's the other one now? Wild Tendencies. Oh, that's the one. Sorry, this is really hard. Okay, Wild Tendencies, Monarch's Heart. Wild Tendencies, Monarch's Heart. Yeah, that's something. Sorry, I'm trying to say it like this just because it makes it easier for me to figure out. Alright, Monarch Tendencies, Monarch's Heart, and I think we'll replace whatever Lance used that was, yeah, Wild Tendencies with, Royal Charisma instead, just to make sure we have the effect. Alright, well, now we're set up, finally. I'm gonna show you how to do this. Thankfully, once you got this, the setup is actually surprisingly easy. So you basically go into battle, pull a bunch of enemies to start, make sure that you're not getting nothing. Once you get about 3, draw your weapon and immediately press plus to follow the leader. Now this is extremely important. If you don't do this, you won't be able to guard. Otherwise, feel free to aggro a bunch of enemies, and then you'll see attacks that either block or miss instead. Also, if for some reason you have a skill set that it'll become a bit more trickier. Okay, I guess somebody has a skill that actually does damage back. There is actually one of those. Oh yeah, that's right. You need to do some aggro reduction setup too, but I don't want to use an attack that does AoE. Essentially though, you aggro, go to the starting area, which this area is one of the best for. And then immediately set the allies to follow leader, then use some kind of AoE that doesn't immediately kill them, which we did successfully, and then we just run in circles. And you'll see now that we're getting kind of a weird setup. So now, with this setup, a bunch of our attacks are missing. So you basically just go to the weakest zone in the game. And then you just run in circles like this until you evade all the arts. It's actually really fast. Because this is a miss, technically, it's a bit you can nerf evasion also, and make the block rate quicker if you want, but ultimately, it's not. Anyways, you just run around here until you get the stuff that you want. Other than that, it's crazy. And then when you're done, you can just do we do want to still kill them for the extra effects, so we're gonna do that, and we're gonna have to reset this. Unfortunately, the block rate one didn't seem to be. You see, these enemies aren't actually able to hit us half the time, so I think actually going to a level 50 area might be slightly better, because we're getting many misses instead of block. We want to get the block effect. So I think we're gonna have to nerf Mia's agility a little bit. Yeah, she has a really good agility with this skill set. Come to think of it, Lance has a much better agility set, so we should have actually just used this on him instead. So we're gonna probably have to switch skills. Wait, can we actually swap these? You know, it'd be nice if we could exchange skills with someone. If we could do that, that would save a lot of time. You know, since Mia has the evasion skill set, they're gonna have to put on slightly different ones this time. So we're gonna look at this again. We're gonna look at the evasion skills instead. Alright, Revenge Impetus. Revenge Impetus. Revenge Impetus strikes. Ah, that's weird. I'm not gonna even say that one. Strike. I think that's easier to say. Mantle evasion. Strike something. No evasion. Strike something. And revenge impetus. Okay. Alright, now we'll set those skills out. And we're gonna give the skills that I saw on here to actually Lance instead when we get the opportunity. That should fix the block rate problem. By the way, to balance this out, yes, I am only doing one video of this because it takes a really long time to actually grind the skills. In fact, it might be one of the most tedious grinds in the game. Well, in like literally the whole game. But if you know what to do, it's actually not as bad. But anyway, we can also just, I guess, change Mia if we want. If we don't want to set up, we can just change our class to be the not evasion one. Okay, here we go. Revenge Impetus. That strength one. Which should be up here. There it is. That effect, and we'll just give us the secondary items we just set up before later. Yeah, so now we have nano evasion. I will admit that AoE did work really well, so we're gonna try that again. Hopefully this time around we get a better setup. So, anyways, now that that's been done, I'm gonna show you how to actually do the evade setup. Honestly, it's not actually that big of a deal. So, obviously getting this set up is going to be a bit tedious, so I think from now on I am going to skip anything that involves skill transferring, just to show you the effect of what you should actually be doing to build up the attacks. So, I'm going to show that. So, anyways, let's get going. So, we do need to get more enemies. So basically, you start by going in and luring a bunch of enemies until you get like 8 or 12 enemies. And then you're going to want to do the falling setup after this is done. While this technically can be done in every area of the game, I like this flaming area in particular just because there's a lot of them. You can group them up pretty easily, there's no worry of them too far away, and this ultimately makes the strat very fast. Anyways, you wait for a bit, then you draw your weapon, very quickly put on a leader setup, and then do something that isn't a strong lead. Like, I think I'm gonna use this. And then you just run around in a circle while a bunch of attacks miss you. And you just do this until enough attacks evade you. And eventually you're gonna get skilled upgrades. So as you can see, we already met the upgrade goal. What's really nice is the game tells you when you've met an upgrade goal, which is nice. Okay, so now we got all 3 of those skills. Once we get those done, we're just gonna kill the enemies. And as you can see, pretty fast actually. We basically got 3 skills upgraded in a matter of minutes. So I just wanted to show that that can be done very fast. And honestly, it doesn't take that long. If you still have KO skills, you can then KO the enemies. So you can get those built up at the same time, and then, yeah. It's very fun. Once you kill the enemies you are using for the setup, reset the battle using the get up feature, and then teleport back to the area you want to do. So, now I'm going to show what the effect looks like, but for block rating instead. Alright, so, I'm gonna show this, setup just to make sure that I'm not messing things up. Obviously, you want to boost block rate as much as possible. The Martis Reigns, I think, which give you the boost is probably, actually, now that I think of it, it'd probably be a great idea to take off that Iola's main accessory, so I'm just gonna put Dexterity on instead. It doesn't really do much power accuracy since we're not going to be using that fat anyway, so I think just setting that up will be better. That way, our agility won't interfere with the fat. Now, enemies should hopefully at least be able to hit us. Anyways, we go back to that setup, we do the same thing, only we've boosted our block rate now to where we're gonna start blocking attacks instead. It's kind of... oh, jeez, sorry, I'm still coughing. Believe me, recording videos gets really tiring on your throat. By the end of this, it gets really tiring. And yes, I am going to show this as one video, because honestly, doing this all at once is just getting tiring. I'm just showing you how to complete the different objectives that are lead, dodge, and all that stuff. Other than that, not much changes. It's basically the same thing, but now you're boosting the block rate. Otherwise, same exact setup. Attack, go in, follow leader, move in, use a weak AoE, like that doesn't kill a lot of enemies. Make sure that somebody doesn't draw angle. If somebody does, you can instead do other effects. Then, while you're doing this effect, you will still get a few misses in there, but hopefully you'll get a lot of blocks more than misses. Essentially, any hit that appears to be a block basically counts as a boost. So really, it is just the same thing, but you boost block and dodge range. So you might want to go to a slightly higher level area where the enemies have a bit better accuracy, because this does take a little bit of learning. Simply because another effect of the monsters being outnumbered by you is they have a much lesser chance to hit. Every time that did noise hits, that means we've blocked an attack successfully. Okay, we did get it. Alright. So it took a little bit longer, but ultimately not actually that bad. By the way, you can turn off follow leader after this if you don't want to do that anymore, and yeah, there we go. We got all the stuff done. So, okay, that problematic part is out of the way. Unfortunately, that's pretty much all it has to the unique stuff. By the way, I'm going to do a shout out right now. If you want a more in-depth guide on what all the arts do and some of the other effects, I'm gonna say right now that one of the best guides for this. Give me a minute while I teleport to this random monster location so I can start actually farming stuff. Basically, if you're starting with getting the skill subs, then there's this guy that I think I've talked about a little bit. His channel name is Enno, and he is actually a really good YouTuber. He does all sorts of Xenoblade stuff, and he made a lot of guides for all Xenoblade games, but has a very good guide in particular for this class in particular and how to get it upgraded as soon as possible. He also includes the different things to do, which is really nice. Other than that, though, there's not really much else to show off on this. The main reason why I have 6 Soulhackers is because if you use 6 Soulhackers in battle and make sure they are each set up with a different skill set, speaking of which, I'm actually going to change the skill setup slightly from Neo just to make sure not wasting time, so... I'll just go to the back side this time. Use this art... No, not that one. Evade a certain amount of attacks with the heal specific amount of statics with the skill set. Okay, man. Okay, Tactical Eye, Sand Smoke, and... I'm gonna put those on now. Mainly Pride should be used. Yeah, use that. It's really hard to figure out which setups you haven't done yet. Surprise attack. And tactical eye. Okay, surprise attack and tactical. Alright. Basically, though, you want to set up as much skills that you have that deal damage, but also have other effects. Basically, you want as many unique skills as possible, even if they appear to not do much, because I'll help out. You basically set this up, and then you find a unique monster you need an effect for. In this case, Ghostly Lucina, I think, was one of the monsters we needed. So we're going to trigger 4 Braids in the Dark here, and do that a few times. It's probably not going to take too long, but honestly, with the Soulhacker setup as it is, it can be a bit tricky. If you are a bit worried, one thing you can do to speed part of this up is to actually have somebody with the attack mastery skill. This is a very overpowered skill that really boosts your attack based off of the amount of Soulhackers. This is the one you actually want. Attack mastery and heal mastery in particular are very important to have if you're actually like doing a proper select build setup. And those are probably the main ones you actually want to level. Otherwise, though, I think the main thing I'm gonna do is just change her back to a dodge soul. Make sure we're not doing anything. And now we're just gonna basically fight this battle. And the only thing that we're gonna do differently is we basically just want to use as many parts as we can. And then from there, it's basically just gonna be like an ordinary battle. Obviously, it's gonna be significantly harder than just a regular battle. And now you can see why I brought because as Soulhacker, there's not a good way to lose our skill. If you want to make this even faster, you could sacrifice yourself, but most of the time her buffs are kind of required to survive. Although, if you're worried, you can always just put it on easy mode. There's also no harm in just putting this on easy mode to make it easier. For otherwise, you're basically just trying to use your skills as many times as possible. And then from there, it's honestly just doing regular battles with the monsters. You're basically just trying to get as many skills up by either using a lot of hearts or doing a lot of damage with the hearts. The best way to do it that way is to use other skills. By the way, interlink does not count, so you're actually going to be winning the soul fight without using interlink, without using you can technically still do everything you can do, but we're not going to show it for this battle because honestly, if you want to, you can also just use setup on actually the challenge run and just go into that. The only reason why I'm actually setting this up with a specific setup is because I actually think I want to actually do this. I want to make Noah's. For now, probably keeping him like this is fine, but having Noah as a Soulhacker is fine. Oh my god. Otherwise, though, as you play these battles, you will slowly get upgrades. Other than that, though, I don't know what else to say other than for attack, anything that requires you to deal a certain amount of damage with this art or use a certain amount of healing with this art, you basically just have to just spam the arts quick. The only way to do that is to use a lot of effects. Now, it can be very tough to get a lot of damage. Some arts in particular are pretty weak to go actually do that much damage. If you want, boost everyone's damage, and that can actually make it a bit easier. Alternatively, you can also just attack and spam a specific art combo that you want to help out too. Other than that, though, the fastest way I found to do it is just try and do it while doing other things. By the way, real joke, I'm not instead, I'm going to be actually setting Noah with a very specific skill set and actually just upgrade his skills. I just want to show that you can upgrade. Anyways, though, you kind of just want to mix this in with doing some other monster grinds and then... yeah, you kind of just, KO stuff and yeah, it's fine. Unfortunately, there's not really any good anymore. One thing you can do if you are struggling with certain arts is have that that you have with a Soulhacker to spam the arts over and over. That is certainly speed up. Yeah, will make it like. Other than that, though, all I can say is just put a full party of Soulhackers in. There's not really much else to say here. Sorry if this video is going to last a little bit longer, but like I said, if you need to, and I'll basically explains it perfectly, just go out and take out unique monsters that you need to upgrade other skill sets while you are doing the attack and healing one. If you need to kill a certain amount of monsters, then just go to the starting area and just KO a bunch of enemies. If you need to if you need to do something like dodge or blocking, just run around in a circle with the meal sap, which you saw me do at point, and then you'll kill the enemies that way. And then, otherwise, though, that's about it. And you just do this until each of your skills are upgraded, and there you go. If you get all the skills unlocked, well, congrats. This is probably, honestly, the most boring setup in the game. In fact, it's so tedious that I think the thing I'm probably actually gonna do is, come the next video, I'm actually just gonna set up Noah with a very specific skill set and just get his stuff upgraded instead. Because I think if I can get his, it's gonna be certainly a lot easier. But other than that, yeah, not much else that can be done. Like I said, this is a very tedious grind. In fact, it probably is the most tedious grind I've ever seen in any game. Imagine actually having to do this as part of 100%. This might be something that I have to skip. But anyway, honestly, it's fine though. Hope you guys enjoyed this video though. If you like and enjoyed, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.